McDowell's supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The CDC opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosley Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Another wonderful Tuesday afternoon to you, everyone. Thank you so very much for tuning in, for staying with us. Welcome to another broadcast, the second for the year, of The Real Issues with me, Shelton Daniel, your host and producer, alongside Terry Fenelon, our co-host and co-producer, and our technical operator, Alton Jaquan Joseph. I hope you're having a good day so far. These are wonderful days, and they're bright and sunny, but at the same time not suffocatingly hot as it can become at certain times of the year. And let's begin.
Sorry.
Let's begin to be prepared because we have been given warnings that we could probably be in for a year where we will have difficulties.
Sorry.
Where the water is concerned. And Terry's laptop seemed to be giving him a bit of problem. Let's go down there.
I think I don't Sorry, audience. Sorry, it's my bad today. My bad today, Shelton. I thought that was
All right, so we are moving right along, folks. These are some of the reasons why I say the election is over, the campaign is done. The government has been re-won by the St. Lucia Labour Party for the second time very convincingly. there are battles ahead, there are challenges ahead that we need to find in ourselves some cohesion, some common sense of purpose, and not focus only on cussing out each other because of superficial differences that we have as to which party we support or we don't. That matter has been litigated and that matter has been pronounced upon very decisively, incontrovertibly by the public of St. Lucia. And there will be people, because of the sense of defeat and loss and shame and embarrassment, that they will continue to try to behave as if, there is a continuous relitigating and campaigning. And those of us who are sensible people, those of us who are better focused people, let us stop making them feel the sense of accomplishment that they're getting under our skin. It's not worth it. All the things they're trying to bring up and resurrect, the things that they had going for how many years? And the people spoke about it. That's the point I'm making. Let us stop making them feel that they have the satisfaction. If you win an election and you win it convincingly, you don't need to be giving time of day to people who are bringing up the same things that they did and the people pummel them at the ballot box. So stop doing that. It's like you on a battlefield. You're fighting a very brutal, close quarters combat, where bayonet and people shooting each other at close range and hand-to-hand combat, this kind of really when the battle gets really savage, trench warfare, this kind of thing. And your side ends up getting the better of the other side. And in your, whatever you call it, your exuberance or your euphoria, or you're so fired up and pumped up, that you still take your gun and you keep firing into the corpses of the other side. You keep firing into the dead bodies. It's a waste of ammo, It talks to a certain insanity that has possessed you, that you feel you still need to continue shooting, into the dead bodies of those that you have decisively prevailed. And also it's against the rules of war that those who have raised their hands in surrender, that you should still feel you have to continue bayoneting them and taking your cutlass and chopping off their head. They've surrendered already. That is the point that I am making. Let us not allow the euphoria and the exuberance and the triumphalism, that ballsy feeling of being victorious, to cause us as if we cannot come back down to earth. We cannot settle down. We have to continue cussing off people. And which people we cussing off? Irrelevant people, Since the election, have you heard anything much of substance from any of the candidates of the UWP? Have you heard Titus Breville, in any meaningful way? Have you heard Bradley Felix in any meaningful way? Have you heard any of them talking in a manner, Marcella Johnson, whatever, saying anything? It's the surrogates, the people who want to create an impression that they're valuable to the food chain and that they have something. They convince the people who lack leadership skills in them, who lack that mental depth and acuity to see through nonsense when people are just pretending that they know something. And what happened? Twice in succession, it failed miserably for them. When the same people keep bringing up the same foolishness about Rejock and Martinez and the CIP, 1.2 billion is missing and the police have this and that and the other and so on. Those same people who were trying to tarnish the deputy commissioner and say endless things about him. Have you heard any of them come up and say anything about a recently retired ex-cop shooting a man, And instead of the man being brought to a hospital, he was reportedly brought to a police station. If a man is shot, his hospital is the next stop for him. What they do in bringing him to police station and so on? Are people who have left the force still exercising undue, excessive, influence over matters within the force, and the man passes away? Now, I'm not saying any of it is true, but at least let's say you all comment on that. You're not hearing anything like that, You're not hearing anything like that is foolishness. That's why I'm saying, last by your gum, last by your tongue. Stop paying attention to them. We have serious challenges and battles ahead pertaining to water, pertaining to our food security, pertaining to our self-reliance, which we will need more and more in the world. That's what I'm talking about. You don't mean if somebody come and tell a lie and somebody come and talk some nonsense and you know that you should not rebut and refute them. Now what I'm talking about. But those people who want to maintain a running battle to keep themselves relevant, people who just like notice, people who just like attention, people who just like for people to regard them as being some kind of person who's valuable in the public space. Just discard them. Just let's move on. Let's move on. And you notice the new year has started. Terry and I, neither of us yesterday, today, we were wearing reds. We're still red in our heart, you know. Right. Our code is still red in our heart and soul. But we don't want to have it in your face, in front of you, out there up front, you understand? I mean, yesterday, Terry said there was something on his chest he had to get up. He did it and we've moved on. And let the whole nation think that way, that we're moving on. There was absolutely no ambiguity, no doubt about what happened on December the 1st, 2025. We're in 2026, let's go ahead. People talking about exuberance and so on. There's something that they call the arrogance of power. And I don't think it needs much explanation or dissecting and so on. Well, when people win an election and they get power, it goes to their head immediately. They believe that winning an election is an automatic endorsement and validation of everything that they are, everything that they say. And in that period of time, they go about saying too much. They go about speaking things they should not. They believe that they can bypass laws and regulations. They seem to get a particular rush and almost orgasmic delight from firing people, from doing this, from doing that. You know, they talk down and they bad talk other leaders and so on within the space of the OECS and CARICOM, because to them, the election, everything that was there before them is foolishness, and they have to brush that aside, and they have to come and to say, you know, the nonsense. They pull out of this, they pull out of that. They don't continue with initiatives, whether pertaining to regional air travel or anything like that. Because, you know, there's just that sense. Of course, it doesn't take long for them to come back to earth, you know. It doesn't take long. We've seen it happen before. And I think that's what we're seeing happening in Trinidad right now, even though this is her second time at it. But the kind of way that Kamla Persad-Bissessar has been talking about CARICOM and other leaders, the kind of cockiness that seems to be there, she's going to come back to earth, you know. Because we all seen this movie before of leaders who believe that because they're close to some global or hemispheric power, that gives them, you know, a kind of a leg up on everybody else. Haven't we seen it with the Cold War? The moment the Cold War was over, America stopped whining and dining and cozying us and so on because of our votes that were needed and the support. The moment America, we might say, won the Cold War, their interest shifted elsewhere. Now we're hearing all this talk about the Caribbean and the Americas is our hemisphere, and we are going to, well, that's what you should have done since the day. Behold the Americas close to you, help them in their development with their economic problems and so on. But no, you are all over in this place in Ukraine. It was this place, it was Europe, it was that was of importance to you. You jumped over the Caribbean. Whatever you gave to them was just little crumbs that, you know, incidentally fell from your table and so on. We're going to be making the same mistake again, some of us. Some of us. Of course, I haven't heard it come out too much from the man in St. Vincent. He doesn't seem as yet to be projecting. He doesn't seem as yet to be spouting that kind of arrogance as yet, that I won an election, clean sweep, you know, whatever. And this is why I'm an admirer of Philip J. Pierre. No matter how consolidated, no matter how cemented he is in terms of election results, you never hear that kind of arrogance coming out of him. He remains humble. He remains focused on what he can do for the people of St. Lucia, all of them. He's not concerned about victimization, about as soon as he come, firing a whole set of people, of home care givers or whoever they are and so on. He's not concerned about the doctrine that says that if you didn't vote for us, you can expect we're going to squeeze you. So people of Deriso, Blanchard, Lacouville, Digati, Roche, you have nothing to worry about. You know that. You know that this man is going to do everything he can to look after what is your legitimate needs and interests as people of St. Lucia. And we have to continue to think along that way. So, you know, this firecracker thing that's coming out of Trinidad and Tobago, let's not trouble ourselves. I see too many articles coming out about, oh, CARICOM, the very existence of CARICOM is threatened. That's true. We've seen worse over the invasion of Grenada and so many other things. We saw those kinds of things come up, and CARICOM has survived, and it will survive, and it will prevail yet again. You know what about it? There are times you got to be quiet. There are times you got to keep your head down. There are times you got to, you know, not stare down anybody, whatever, especially when you know you don't have the strength. You know, this is why I see many people always sharing things with me and trying to put in real issues about this African guy from Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traore, or what a stand-up man he is and so on. I'm afraid for Traore, you know. He's making himself too visible. He's making himself too high profile. You know, I believe that before he gets far, because of the renewed interest in Africa that has come now, that they will target him again. And he has to watch from both sides. He has to watch from abroad what they will do, because they want to put a footprint of control in Africa for its mineral wealth and this and that. Notice nowadays there's an interest in Nigeria, you know, about Christians being killed. It's been happening all the time, you know, those Islamic militants and so on that have been, you know, in Africa kidnapping young girls and so on. We didn't hear anything about that, but it's now people want to go and bomb targets in Nigeria because they're concerned. You know, Ibrahim Traore, I believe he needs to pay attention to the lessons of history. To the lessons of history in the Congo, what was then called Zaire. Especially a leader called Patrice Lumumba. I think Traore needs to pay attention to his own country, Burkina Faso, which had the Africa version of Fidel Castro. In fact, I think they knew and met each other, and he modeled himself a lot, or tried to, on Fidel Castro. Guess what? He was overthrown and murdered by a comrade of his called Blaise Compaoré. You know? Murdered for all the good he did and so on. Guess who was sponsoring Compaoré? Of course, Compaoré himself was overthrown quite violently about 30 years later. And here, we don't need to go all the way to Africa to see the whole Sucé thing and the whole infighting thing that has kept us, the black people, the people of the third world, the people of the developing world, the people of the so-called global south, that we have never really been able to consolidate and pull our strengths together to achieve what we can achieve, which includes alliances and so on. Whether it be with BRICS or with the African Union, we've never been able to do it. And the example I'm saying in the Caribbean was the Grenada Revolution. Look at the kind of miracle that happened where, for the first time, it didn't happen in the wider Caribbean. They tried it in Trinidad, it crumbled very quickly. But there was a successful rising up against an order that was oppressive, that was backward, that was victimizing and so on. And they went about education in particular, going through all the rural areas to help people attain literacy and education and health and those things. What happened? What happened? Silly little ideological bickerings and so on. The fellas turn on each other, the fellas gun down each other, they fight, they divided and so on. To this day, I have been speaking over the years with members of the then Grenada Revolution, including some senior guys. They spent a lot of time in jail. And the guys told me, look, if you see, we had been united and we were not shooting at each other at the same time we're shooting at the Americans. I'm not telling you we would have defeated them. I'm not telling you we would have prevented the invasion, but it would have been a lot more difficult for them. You know? He told me about the things the Americans don't report at all, the amount of helicopters that they brought down, you know. The amount of American helicopters that is not reported, and he knows they did it. And the thing that dealt with them worse was when the Cubans decided to stop fighting. The Cubans decided, and you know why the Cubans decided? Castro told them stop fighting. Why go and get yourself killed for fellas who making such a mess of their own country, of their own life, shooting each other, murdering their own prime minister, Maurice Bishop, who was Castro's personal friend. You know, why should I let my Cuban soldiers go there and face down the Americans at the heavy cost and whatever it is for those fellas? You know, Castro told them to stop fighting, and that was the time the Grenadian guy admitted to me that their front just collapsed, because where they were expecting some reinforcement from the Cubans just suddenly just stopped fighting, because they got the order directly from Fidel Castro, their supreme commander. So I'm telling you, in the Caribbean, we have had this thing where our unity, our cohesion has been found wanting. And you notice now there is a quietness from CARICOM about what's happened in Venezuela. You know, CARICOM rising up and protesting like they did in the day when America and so many other countries in the world tried to impose a leader on Venezuela that was not elected. They recognize Juan Guaido. They don't recognize the government of Maduro and so on. You know why? Maduro again made that serious thing, threatening Guyana at a time when CARICOM is standing, you know, toe to toe, shoulder to shoulder with you, in moving in lockstep with you. You notice the last time when there was all that crisis over Juan Guaido, how CARICOM used its diplomatic resources? It's the same way as Fidel Castro said, why stick your neck out in front of the powerful America who can cut it off easily, to go and to make representation and advocacy, to make a case for Venezuela, and at the same time Venezuela is most aggressively than they have ever done, threatening to seize the territory of Guyana. At least, let's say you don't basically disavow this completely, but at least put it on the back burner, man, for now. You know, instead we saw it. Now, this time, the advocacy of the Mia Motleys and Ralph Gonzalez and the Gaston Browns and so on, who spoke so forcefully and went to the OAS and other places to plead with, to beg the U.S. to stop this thing. They did it for Cuba also. I mean, how can you do that when at the same time they ain't going to go and say that what's happened to Venezuela is right? They're not going to go and do it. But you can't tell me at a time like this, when you need solidarity, when you need cohesion, when you need that kind of advocacy and lobbying on your behalf, is when you are being most aggressive, most arrogant, most threatening to one of our territories. So we need to make up our minds. Now, Terry is standing by with a few things. I suspect he might have to work on the other side of it. I cooled out myself yesterday. Me pahodia. Beflalaji. You know, people. And I know my friend Ambassador Pell will probably send me a message to correct me if I get any of the historical substantive facts wrong. He's very good on this sort of thing. Many of us would have grown up knowing or hearing about the 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis. And that was when it was thought that maybe America, the United States, and the Soviet Union, it was not just Russia, it was a collection of Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, a whole lot of them, Belarus and so on, the Soviet Union, extremely large nation. Even right now, Russia on its own is the largest nation on earth. That they almost came to direct blows, which for two nuclear powers could have easily turned because it was over a nuclear thing. What the United States said, their satellite and other surveillance was showing that the Russians were building bases in Cuba to install missiles, nuclear missiles, that undoubtedly would have been aimed at the United States. Now, you know where Cuba is, you know where America is. The distance between the most southern tip of the U.S. state of Florida and the northernmost tip of Cuba is just 90 miles apart. You put nuclear missiles there, I mean, by the time the Americans detect a launch, you know, they hit America already. So Kennedy threatened that if they did not remove the missiles, he would order a strike on those bases to destroy the silos and whatever the Russians were building. The Russians put up as much defiance. Fidel Castro tried to encourage the Russians as much as possible to stay the course. Because in Castro's mind, after America had tried to overthrow him a year earlier in the so-called Bay of Pigs invasion, that whatever opportunity he got to stick a finger at them, you know, he would do it. And so he was happy, he was elated, you know, to let the Russians put their missiles there and so on. Only to find out that Khrushchev backed down later. Castro was very disappointed. And backed down basically without telling him in talks with Kennedy. A lot of people thought that Russia turned tail and Russia ran and Russia cowered and caved in. That's not true, you know. Khrushchev never intended to put those missiles in Cuba. It was all grandstanding. It was all a big show to achieve another objective that he wanted, which was that the United States had placed missiles in Turkey. Turkey is a member of NATO, by the way, okay? Islamic State and so on, but a member of NATO. And if you know where Turkey is relative to Russia, the Soviet Union, I mean, that is close. You know, maybe not as close as Cuba and the United States, but very close. And Russia had been concerned, had been making noise about them. So Khrushchev used the occasion to simply tell Kennedy, look, I'm going to remove the missiles from Cuba if you remove the ones from Turkey. And that secret backroom deal was struck. America dismantled the missile installations they had in Turkey. Khrushchev, if they had already mounted anything, took down the missiles in Cuba. And so that was it. This is the game of brinkmanship that the big powers have been playing, sometimes over the heads. Castro was furious because what he saw as a deterrent, what he saw as a in your face, stick it to you that he wanted to give America and so on under the same Kennedy, that he had been removed. But Khrushchev knew, you start a nuclear thing and so on. First of all, it's Cuba that's going to get destroyed. Then the exchange will widen. Neither country is going to survive and so on. Folks, I'm going through all that to say this. A lot of us are talking about is the oil that Trump wants and the oil. And I'm not denying that the oil plays a big part here. But haven't you noticed and found it strange? Even if Russia has made some expected noises of disagreement over what has happened in Venezuela with Maduro, that's not nearly the amount of noise that you expected Russia and China would be making. They seem relatively quiet. Now, I know America is powerful, but they're powerful too. I expected that there would be a lot more Russian assets in the region in Venezuela, given the flights I'd been hearing about and the missile defense and the air defense systems and China and all of them, how they were, positioning themselves to ally themselves with Venezuela because they have interest there and so on and whatever. I'm just surprised that this raid to capture Maduro seemed to have been pulled off with such ease. I'm worried about that. And that Russia and China seem to be so docile about it. They don't seem to be making the amount of noise that I thought they would have been making. Might it be that just like Khrushchev and Kennedy agreed, okay, I'll remove the missiles in Turkey and you remove the missiles in Cuba. Might it be that there's been some kind of deal that has been struck? That they're going to come out and make some noise to make people believe that, they're upset and so on, when they know what deal they've carved. Who knows what will be the future of Taiwan? Maybe not tomorrow, but down the road, That Trump has told them, look, don't interfere in our hemisphere, whatever. And we're going to back off and so on Taiwan a bit and so on. Haven't you noticed since Trump came to office, how the battlefield momentum in the war between Russia and Ukraine has shifted decisively in favor of Russia? Russia seems a lot more comfortable. The kind of way they said Ukraine was fighting back with American, HIMARS or HIMARS artillery and what they had and the F-16s that were given to them. That Russia, I'm not saying they're having an easy time, but it definitely seems as if Russia is gaining ground since Trump came to office. Trump went through a period where he paused U.S. military aid, including the satellite information that was able to show Ukraine where Russian troops are on the battlefield and so on. It seems to have become... Do we know what winking relationship, where, they quarreling with each other in front of people, but behind, they cutting, winking eyes for each other. Say, don't worry, we'll have that. Do we know what's going on? Especially at the same time, the United States seems poised not just to abandon Europe. The fellows have done a survey, a report basically saying that in how many years Europe will cease to exist, essentially, how do you call it, civilizational collapse, will take place there. They basically are saying that Europe is a lost cause, it ain't going on. Migration will overwhelm them. That the United States, who founded NATO to hold those European nations together, is threatening another NATO country, an ally. Well, two of them actually, to say that we want a part of you, Greenland, we want it, and we will take it. If you don't give it, we will get it, even through armed means and so on. What would you ever hear under any U.S. president before, that a United States president would be talking to Europe, to NATO allies like that, even if but just talking to them, making them feel threatened, is telling Canada, I want you to become part of the United States, the 51st state, and I'm going to annex you, and this sort of thing. I mean, this is dangerous talk and rhetoric, even for avowed sworn enemies, but to be talking like that to your ally. Do you understand where Europe now finds itself? Looking to see if it can put a slowdown on the Russian westward advance into Ukraine, because Russia has nothing else but to take over Ukraine completely, to stop them. But at the same time, you wonder whether Russia is the worst one that you need to watch out for. Your own ally America is talking that way. So, given the way Trump is behaving and the fact that Russia has looked so docile, relatively speaking, in this thing, do we know what deal has been brokered there between them? Do we know? Do we know whether it has been, Russia has been told, don't come to Venezuela's aid, don't leave the hemisphere alone, including Cuba, don't try to help them because after Venezuela is there, we're going to blow away and so on. And Putin has just felt, okay, if I'm going to have Ukraine is a far bigger country than Venezuela and Cuba put together and so on, with far more resources and wealth and so on. Do we know? I'm not saying it has happened. Haven't you noticed that in the war that Israel had on Hamas and the Palestinians and the Arabs and so on, that Putin was very, very docile? He made a little statement here and there and so on, but he didn't have too much to say. Yeah, you can say he's focused on the war in Ukraine. So, folks, when we look at what happened in Venezuela, I understand the head of security, whatever, has been arrested and removed from the... I feel more people, the defense minister, what's his name, Cabello or whatever, that there should be a lot more people who should be investigated. Because while the Americans are sophisticated and good, but your president... The security of your president, the fellas came like they knew where every sentry was stationed, every position, every man that they could overpower or shoot. They got into the presidential compound, Hardly any of them was a shot fired at them. They saw Maduro sleeping. He got up. He went to an iron door. He tried to close it, but they had time. I mean, first of all, he should not have been the one even trying to close that door. Somebody, a couple of trained security should have held him and his wife, pulled him, and they should have shut the door, behind him or shut it with them inside with him and so on, that he had to be trying to close a heavy iron door, a president, in his 70s or whatever. I mean, folks, come on. Does that not sound fishy to us? The sophisticated Cubans who have so much experience in military and security and all of that they were simply outwitted, outsmarted, bypassed, overpowered and so on. Somebody had told whoever is coming, this is the layout of the place. This is where the guards are placed. No matter if you're Cuban, whatever. And you know what? What was the reward? $50 million, given the economic conditions of Venezuela. People, y'all don't know what $50 million is and what it can do for people and who will sell their soul and raise the devil to get their hands on even 1 million of that. I mean, that's heaven and paradise for them, right away. To have $50 million, you know how many people would sell out for that? Especially in a place where we had a hardship such as Venezuela. And I wonder if this 50 million is related to the fact that Trump is talking about taking 50 million barrels. 50 million barrels of Venezuelan oil. If he has figured out a way that this $50 million we give as a bounty reward and so on, that we're going to get it at the price of $1 per barrel, which is a super deal and so on. So folks, the whole Susse thing and the whole people playing their little games, whatever. I just find two things on the international front. There doesn't seem to have been enough pushback for the Venezuela situation from such as China and Russia. I understand within CARICOM why even before that action, you didn't seem to hear CARICOM saying too much because I not any CARICOM leader. You can't be telling me we've been on your side, in your corner at our own risk, and you're making that kind of noise, against the place where the headquarters of CARICOM is situated in Guyana and all of that. You can't do that. I just find Venezuela has behaved unwisely, if not ungratefully and so on, for the advocacy and the support. But China, Russia, the way those fellas quiet, some kind of thing going on there, some kind of thing going on there. Whatever air defense that Venezuela invested in and so on, whether it's Russian S-300 or S-400, for those US, and I'm saying maybe 1-2 planes can penetrate an airspace and not be detected, but the fellow said they had about 150 to 200 planes, helicopters, which I don't think they have any technology that silences them as much as you can silence a jet at 50,000 feet and so on. All these assets the fellows are able to move, blow up your power plant so that your place is in blackout conditions and so on. And nobody picked them up. The fellows able to come and to take a president that should be the most protected, most secured man, able to walk out of there with him and take him to America with him. Something in right there. And if Delcy Rodriguez, if she's not part of the plot to get rid of Maduro, I'm not saying she is, but if she isn't, she ain't gonna last long. Somebody gonna take her out. Somebody will remove her. If what she's showing, her determination to put up resistance, if it is real, I'm telling you, she not secure. Revolution can have all the popular support. that kind of money that's been thrown and all those deals and all those things that happen in there, you don't know who is in on it. Real Issues, powered by Blue Waters. Let's take our first break. We'll be back shortly.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with big issues. Real Issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosley Bus Stop, Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with big issues. Real Issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with the Real Issues powered by Blue Waters. Over to my brother Terry Fenelon, who I have kept quiet for more than half an hour. Yet he's still cheerful.
Two things. In your preamble, while you were speaking, you mentioned Wasco. And I think you have been on that case, where you have busted pipes and with weeks to respond.
Yes.
Well, I got one of our listeners one of our fans, so to speak, called me early. Yeah, but Mr. Fernando, there, I had a pipe in the area, in the Bagatelle area, that was busted. I went to Wasco office so many times, I called, etc. Would you believe it took about a week and a half for them to respond?
Yeah, that's quick.
Okay.
No, the week and a half is quick.
But that,
let Jaquan tell you
about the
I
one
spoke about this thing by the San Jose Bridge. They
Now,
fixed it eventually.
Yeah.
And I didn't see any major demolition or breaking concrete, whatever. How this thing, and if you check the San Jose Bridge from where Wasco is there,
Yes,
I mean, this thing stayed there for months, spewing water, and there are so many other instances.
And we talk about the silting, and it's dry. It's going to be dry. It's a drought. You cannot allow water to waste. Not that we want to put licks on Wasco. It's difficult. Your position is difficult. But please respond to those things urgently, man. Don't waste the water, etc. I mean, that is not good. Secondly, Shelton, you're talking about Venezuela. Your point has been raised. We have raised that the possibility of these fellows just selling out Maduro was raised. But I read that the Americans had.
I'm not saying it's Rodriguez.
No, we're not saying. Yeah, we're not saying that.
We don't know
generally. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they said the Americans. It is alleged that they used some sophisticated stuff, which could have, the radio waves, etc. So that immobilized the soldiers. So there are all theories being floated about. They have some advanced technology. Maybe just using Venezuela for the first time. So people, I understand, that can begin to damage you from the inside, and you don't hear it. You're just immobilized. You can't move. You can't act, etc. If that is, I don't know. That is what was said, and I'm like, whoa, we are in dangerous times, because Shelton, if it happens there, it can happen here. And people are telling you, when Mr. Trump utters whatever he utters, you have to take him seriously, because he will do what he says he's going to do. Okay, and in the world, and that's why we are saying our Prime Minister cooperate. People are gleeful. Yes, I'm saying it again, Patriot. They are gleeful. Because when is Lucius Stern? You read that on Facebook, Shelton.
Yes.
The irresponsible statements and messages people post to Facebook. I mean, Zuckerberg, you have to do something about that. Everybody now is a clown. Okay, take that back, Fernanda. Everybody now can have a live and say anything at all. Yeah, free speech, yes, but at least before you say things, check it out.
You see, the thing that's happening nowadays with people, their aim is somebody that they want to hurt or reconcile. So
yes.
I want to hurt Terry Fenelon.
Yes.
I don't look at the bigger picture, whatever, as long as I can stick it to Fenelon. I'm going to do. And that is a problem with us.
Yes.
We have an issue with somebody in our country, whether political or whatever it is. Going after that person is everything to us.
That's right.
And we do not care about the damage. And again, that's why I brought up the whole Grenada thing. Those fellas strategized that for them to bring about the changes in Grenada, they needed to overthrow the established order, whatever. People were skeptical, had misgivings, but they get inside there, and this one begins to believe we should go on a hardline Marxist way, and this one believes we should try to remain integrated with the Caribbean and the Americas, and right away that's enough, but it's more complicated than that. And this is a problem that is affecting us all over Africa. It has been a big problem. So many resources, so much going for the continent, but what things that are so essentially trivial on the global scale and so on, it becomes elevated to being the thing, and next thing you know, the outside forces come in and it's taking over you, splitting you up and seizing and stealing all your wealth and your resources and so on. But go ahead.
Carlton, I think you are very correct. Every time you see the Americans, new technology, there's always a new weapon, and I believe, I mean, I don't know for a fact, but as you correctly said, that happened too easily. So they must have had some kind of new technology.
And not tell me, like I say, you have the technology, yes. Maybe not one American was killed. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes, the fellas do this, and, the Israelis pulled off a spectacular thing in Uganda many years ago.
No shots were fired.
But, that's what I'm saying.
So
they said shots were fired, that a helicopter was damaged and so on, that some Americans were wounded.
Yeah.
But don't tell me around the president there isn't that ring of fire there,
Well, must they intensify the radio waves, etc. And this fellas just going to... Anyway, Shelton, I still feel good, Manifesto. Shelton, that's going to be with me every day, Now, I realize time is running, Shelton, but that's okay. Today, let's do a little health, okay?
Okay.
Siobhan? Because as we told you yesterday, I call out the Sambalots. That's the name. Nehemiah 6, please. Oh, and we got a nice explanation from one of our listeners.
Yes.
Right?
Sanballat
and how do you pronounce that? Tobiah.
Which one?
Because it's both of them. It's actually three of them. Tobia.
Okay.
Anything? Because these fellas are fellas. Yes, we played that one first. Fighting against development and advancement. But we're going to come to that tonight. We'll have a lot of time. We have 4 years by God's grace. By the grace of God. We have 4 years. So let's say our Prime Minister, he's beginning, and then we're going to take it from there.
Over the last term, we have built and upgraded health facilities, strengthened primary care, expanded wellness centers, and increased access to screening and treatment for chronic illnesses. These investments are not abstract. They have saved lives, supported families, and affirmed dignity. This year, St. Jude will be fully commissioned to receive patients. We will commence work on the fifth finger of the OKE Hospital, continue renovation and expansion of the wellness centers, and most importantly, we'll continue the implementation of the Universal Healthcare Program.
In 2026, St. Lucia Healthcare moves forward with purpose. A future where healthcare is stronger, closer, and built around people. St. Jude Hospital will be fully commissioned to receive patients, strengthening healthcare in the South and reinforcing the national health system. A hospital designed not just to treat illness, but to deliver care with dignity and confidence. Work will begin on the fifth finger of OKEU Hospital to expand capacity and improve specialized services. Wellness centers will continue to expand and innovate, bringing primary care, prevention, and early treatment closer to communities. Universal health care will continue to be implemented, ensuring care is not a privilege, but a promise.
St. Jude will be fully commissioned to receive patients. We will commence work on the fifth finger of the OKE Hospital, continue renovation and expansion of the wellness centers, and most importantly, we'll continue the implementation of the Universal Healthcare Program.
These investments are not abstract. They save lives. They strengthen families. They build trust in a system designed to care.
Yes, my people, let me refer to this. There's a lot, because I really want to talk about the core values and link it to our national pledge. But as it says here, commence and complete the work on the fifth finger, he said that, the OKEU. St. Jude, you know this? Not even the wind is disturbing the silence. Shelton, we nice times. St. Jude has been commissioned and no noise. The wind did not hesitate to disturb the silence. And Shelton, I'm enjoying the silence, We are transitioning and moving nicely into St. Jude. Work is going on and there's no disturbance of the silence. Reno is still there doing his work. Well, he said he will stay there for another 3 months to help out. He is in charge. The nurses and the commissioning team, they are working, they're doing things to the fully commissioned center. And it is there, where is it? I read it a while ago. Commission, that's number 9. Manifesto, page 16 and 17. Commission the St. Jude Hospital to allow all patients, and we are doing that now. No rancor, no noise, no issue, nothing. It is happening. And so, this Prime Minister, when it is fully commissioned, we are having a ceremony to formally open, You had the handing over ceremony, but there must be bacchanal down there, man. I like my line in view for it, man. Susie, we're going to prepare, we're going to be by Susie again. So, healthcare. Just put up some pictures. Now, I drove through Babonneau yesterday. I wanted to see a former colleague.
What you are seeing on your screen right now is not a movie scene.
I drove from Babonneau yesterday because I wanted to see a former colleague, and I could tell you from what I'm seeing the pictures. I didn't go to France unfortunately, but partially Babonneau proper. But just put up the pictures of improvement to healthcare. You see, we're not giving you pie in the sky, you know. Actual practical things. You could see the ministers there, the Honorable John Estefan, Musa Jabatis, conversing with, the nurses, etc. Oh man, this first class, state-of-the-art wellness center. And you saw St. Jude. That is what you call state-of-the-art, not cladding. All right? And so on. So, it's looking good for health. If it's not perfect, and I must say, can I pause to say that, Shelton? My mom was at OKU from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I tell you, Shelton, I know some people have some bad experiences, but when I go places, I don't know if it's they educated me. You observe, you sit by and you observe. You cafe, zero, treat, wow. And I could tell you, Shelton, I have absolute admiration for the doctors and nurses at the A&E department. Because Shelton, on Tuesday, I spent some time, yes. The firemen, I'm the guys with the ambulance. Thank you. And I could see Shelton there, under pressure. Nobody lost their cool, nobody shouted, and people were being handled. And it was smooth. And I'm like, okay, that was Wednesday. That was Tuesday. Went back Wednesday, and I could tell you, it was more of the same. There were some doctors, but there was one doctor, the first one I met, sorry I forgot your name, man. Things were rubbing. So I want to thank you, the doctors and nurses at OKU. You did a fantastic job, not just for me and my mom. No, I saw you all in action, and I have absolutely utmost respect for you all. I know you work under pressure, but you all did very, very, very well. And if I had to grade you all, I'd give you all a 9 out of 10. All right, and that. So we are not where we ought to be. Oh, Nurse Imab, although you were not in AME, but you were of immense support and help to me and my mom. So I want to thank you publicly. But we are working. Our government is not asleep, as you could see. And so the Babano Wellness Center will be open, Fonso is open, and you saw St. Jude transitioning and commissioning of departments are going smoothly, and there is no noise. You see? And the Prime Minister, when he said he's calling that election, I don't know if he said it publicly, but he said, I have to stop these fellas. I have to stop this nonsense. All that noise. Once and for all. And Prime Minister, you have done that. So we could work now in peace and quiet. It's just that we need Rush to give us another poem on that. So, we have any more on health there? I think that is it. Forgive me, I sent all my stuff to the technician and I deleted on my phone by accident. That was reckless of me. This morning, I deleted. So, I am winging it with my technician today. So, let's go to education. Yes, we have Danny Butcher. Yeah, you can play that one. Baby, that's one with Baby. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
The start of the second school term brought more than just the return of students and teachers. It marked the beginning of a ministerial tour of schools aimed at assessing readiness, infrastructure, and learning conditions across St. Lucia. Education Minister Honorable Kenson Casimir launched the District 1 leg of the tour at the Grosley Primary School, making his way through classrooms and facilities before concluding the day at the Leon Hess Comprehensive Secondary School. In total, the minister visited 9 schools, underscoring the ministry's commitment to maintaining close, on-the-ground engagement with schools at the start of the term. Accompanying the minister was a high-level team of senior officials from the Ministry of Education, reinforcing a united leadership approach to the start of the school term. The presence of executive technical, communications, and human resource leadership signaled the ministry's intent to move beyond observation toward coordinated action, informed decision-making, and responsive support at the school level. Beyond infrastructure checks, the tour also focused on staff readiness, student well-being, and the overall teaching and learning experience as schools settle into the new term.
I am elated to have met so many teachers, so many students, so many administrators today at our schools. Of course, the excitement, the expectation, very high. For us at the Ministry of Education, we just endeavor to ensure that our key stakeholders, our teachers, our students are as comfortable as possible. We do always have resource constraints, but as Minister of Education, I really got a good idea of some of the challenges of the schools, albeit in the north today, and I look forward to visiting many more schools and providing that service that our young people deserve.
The ministerial tour of schools will continue throughout this week, the first week of the new term, as ministers and senior officials visit schools across the island, reinforcing the ministry's commitment to quality education for all St. Lucian learners.
There's a lot that I'm excited about in terms of education. I think a lot of the requests from teachers are for more supplies. I believe we need to have a comprehensive analysis of supplies in St. Lucia as it pertains to teaching materials. I think at the end of the day, people gravitate towards something that they're excited about, something that they can actually visualize and see and enjoy. And I mean, there is an opportunity when you go to all contractors, they keep telling you there's a dire need for skills, for carpenters, for electricians, for plumbers in this country. And I think one of the main things we have to do as a government is to take it to the blocks and ensure that our young people get those opportunities.
Ministry officials say feedback gathered during the tours will help inform ongoing support and planning for schools during the academic year. From the Communications Unit of the Ministry of Education, this is Amanda Ficlock reporting.
With the reopening of schools following the end of the first term of the school year, recently appointed minister in the Ministry of Education with responsibility for early childhood education, special education, digital transformation and continuing education, the Honorable Danny Butcher, took on a tour to a number of schools in the south of the island. Minister Butcher, who was elected as parliamentary representative of Vieux-Fort South during the December 1st, 2025 general election, expressed satisfaction with the atmosphere and conditions at schools he visited.
Well, the ministry saw it fitting to really go to all of the schools, as many schools as possible, to really assess the readiness of each school, with students coming back from the Christmas celebrations. And my general impressions is I'm very impressed. The principals, the teachers, the students, everybody seem ready. We have no major issues. I mean, you get the ordinary problems at each school, which we documented and which we will take care of in the upcoming weeks as quickly as possible. But you get the general impressions from our teachers and principals that they're ready to work. They enjoyed Christmas and they are ready to work.
Minister Butcher, a trained teacher, felt the interaction with the school community was very welcoming on every stop.
At some levels, it would have been a bit emotional, and Vieux-Fort Comprehensive for me is very close to my heart. Vieux-Fort Primary as well, because I attended Vieux-Fort Primary. So that would be slightly emotional to see your colleagues and to interact with your colleagues. And the most beautiful thing about it is how welcoming they are to you, and the level of expectation that they have from you really motivates you. Vieux-Fort Special Ed as well. The children, the students there, and I said it at the school and I'll say it again, what is really motivating is how the teachers at Special Ed and the administration at Special Ed, how they continue to work very well, considering they don't have the best conditions, but still they work very well.
At the conclusion of the tour, the minister reiterated government's commitment to ensure schools are given the best environment and facilities in which to operate. From the Ministry of Education, Youth Development, Sports and Digital Transformation, I'm Ryan O'Brien.
I'm going to make my comments here brief. Ladies and gentlemen, viewers, listeners, this is what you're going to get from us, Shelton. The highlighting of what we are doing, our achievements, our programs. We're going to refer to the manifesto, and we're going to allow the Sambalots continue to write and talk all the nonsense you want. We are not going to be bothered. We are going to be promoting our government. Mr. Philip J. and the cabinet, we have your backs. We are going to be there to highlight the programs that we are following, what we are doing, so that the people, don't forget it's Operation 10,000, We have to take 10,000 votes from you all. we're going to increase our vote tally, our popular vote.
Terry, how can you take votes from them when you're calling them sun ballots?
No. Terry, they have the
Terry, if they have ballots like sand, I say, you know a grain of sand, how many in just one point? You already calling them the sand ballots. Gaston, let me tell you.
The sand ballots to themselves.
Don't G on us. Okay?
But it's Operation 10,000. We are going to take away from your vote count.
Okay.
So you'll be left with just 20,000 votes.
All right. Real Issues powered by Blue Waters with you for our final break. I think when we come back, we'll be opening the phone lines.
Open the phone lines. Yes. Open the phone lines.
We'll be opening the phone lines and we're going until 2 o'clock. So, as they say, Briscoe, get up, because we'll be having that interaction shortly.
Yeah. The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Country, we talk country, this Saturday, January 17th. Come have an unforgettable experience upstairs the Castries Market. It's a night of country classics. Party up inside to the best country and western hits from yesteryear. And now, ladies, you free all night. Yes, ladies, you free all night. Men, you pay $10. Doors open from 8 p.m. Featuring the entertainer, DJ Leroy, and the professor, DJ Elton. All powered by Entertainer Sounds. So link your crew, cause this Saturday night is X amount of country music as we party up inside the Castries Market. See you there.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar, Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop, opposite the Grosile Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with The Real Issues, only our second program for the new year 2026. With me, Shelton, alongside Terry Fenelon and our technical man, Alton Jaquan Joseph. The telephone lines are open now for your calls. The numbers you can reach us on, you can WhatsApp call us on 487-9849. That's 758-487-9849. And you can also call us direct on the local landline, which is 4533-911. We're going until 2 o'clock. We're taking your calls. So I know a few of you are still, like I said, demawaying yourself from all of it. One of them, Cornelia Jacob, who says, I'm back. I was away yesterday. We didn't hear from you. You didn't give us a call. And she also says Shasna is a perfect description of that term, arrogance of power. There's a lot of them, especially when they just come, boy, they're talking like, everybody who was in government before them was an ignoramus, who's a moron who didn't know anything. I've seen a few of them, and usually they're from the same political persuasion, the type that's with the UWP. There was a guy in the Bahamas, a medical doctor, so he's no fool. What was his name? Hubert Minnis, They come in and those fellas have some kind of attitude, and it's like, they know better than everybody else who was there, or they're fools, and they just want to come and just clear the table, sweep everything away because they understand it. And in a few days, they come back to earth with a very heavy and very hard bump, To be fair, I haven't noticed that in Andrew Holness, Andrew Holness seems to be a person with some smarts and true, sensible, and a fundamental humility about him. If not humility, certainly a kind of modesty about him. But I've seen so much of that in so many of them when they come along that they know everything, and then, it all just falls apart. A lot of people wonder why I didn't start the program last week, the 5th and so on. Yeah. That's because in previous years I tried that. And right after that's clear. And these people take a little while before they warm up again and come back on. So Terry, if you have anything,
a lot of them didn't know we were on today.
Really?
No, they didn't know we were on. Well. Imagine this morning at home, and one of a regular listener. Actually, he was the one who gave us the tip about the recreation. How are you? The grounds in Viewfort.
Yes.
He is a top man, and he didn't realize that we were back on. So I do not blame the people who don't know, because they're still, I think they're still in this mood and they're celebrating, etc. and so on. But I want to tell them again, yes, we will be there. We will take on things from time to time as they emerge. But our emphasis would be on ensuring there's a call coming in that they promote the government.
Okay, we have a call coming in. Hi, Real Issues, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Happy New Year to you.
Yes. Belated Happy New Year to you.
Yes.
Hello. A baby born on the 1st of January is going to be 11 days today. That is still a newborn.
It's still a newborn. I agree. And
she has you there.
I agree, and I take that back.
That is it. So anyhow, let me tell you, I was waiting to see who was going to be the first person to call. I didn't want to be the first to call.
Speak up a bit for us,
show yesterday. I beg your pardon?
Yeah, I said speak up a bit. You seem to have left your voice in 2025, but retrieve it, please.
Yeah, we're negotiating. So, Shelton, this is my first time calling for the year, and I just want to say I wish everybody in St. Lucia the best. I am hoping that nothing untoward happens with the madman at the top. That's all the way over yonder. You understand? I'm hoping that we keep safe. And like you were saying, we are still in the mood. We're supposed to still be in the mood, the zone, and move on to governance and acceptance of the results. And we can't take on everything them flubbos say, because they will never want anything positive for this country. They have lost. They fail to accept their loss. Imagine a man saying that he sent his resignation and a party saying they accept it. A man who has lost so miserably twice. Come on now. But I met a gentleman yesterday who demanded that I shouted him. Now he tell me if I shout him, I can bring a ham for him to bake for me. He is Mr. Shalmine from Saltibus. Okay? So I'm making sure I can bring my ham for him to bake for me and everything. I mean, so guys, Terry, my condolences to you.
Thank you.
And I am wishing you again everything good for this new year, and also the government of St. Lucia, and to everyone who's listening. Happy birthday, Mr. Mong Daisy. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hi, Shelton. Is it true that Shas has left the country and his post? Happy New Year to you all and welcome back. I miss that show. Well, I don't know where Shas is. What's his location? I don't know. I don't know what he'll do and so on. All I can say is that you don't expect his behavior will change.
No.
Not even now.
It's innate.
Shasnik came to Parliament simply as a means to an end, a stepping stone. You don't get the sense that there is any commitment towards representing the people of Miku South and advocating for them and serving them and being there for them. Whatever the means by which he gets himself elected, it is not by doggedly having his shoulders to the wheel and being there. You don't get that sense of what John Compton talked about a lot, serving the people and so on.
Right.
On his farm, somebody comes, they want some form filled, whatever, Compton would leave what he's doing and, fill it for them because he considered that, or if he couldn't do it, he would say, come back this afternoon, another time or something, because he's busy, whatever, doing it. But I don't know how Shasni really moves and operates among the people of Miku South, but we have a call coming on the landline. Real Issues, you're on the air, go ahead. Hello? Hello?
Hello, yes?
Yeah, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Well, good afternoon, gentlemen, and Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back to your program. I wish that your programs would remain the same in terms of the intellectual standards, which is what we require for improvement of our people and our economy. There will no doubt be a lot of attempts to blame the local government for things which were out of their control. So I hope that this year you concentrate on the explanation of some of the geopolitical influences on the local political scene, so that people would not think that they're going to blame this and they blame that on matters for which we have very, very little control. So I wish you all the best, and I hope that the government continues to provide the necessary alleviation of some of the hardships that obviously we will face in the new year. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
That's a Calix?
Yes, it definitely sounded like him.
He got an honorary doctorate.
Yes.
Food upon him.
Yeah,
congratulations, sir.
We have another call coming. Real Issues, you're on the air. Go ahead. Hello. Hi, caller. Are you there?
Hello. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hi, good afternoon to you.
Happy New Year to both of you.
Yes, thank you.
And when I analyze the current climate, I am really happy that TJP is the Prime Minister for such a time like this.
Yeah, speak up a little bit for us. Someone is saying,
okay.
yeah.
When I look at what is happening in the US. I am happy that TJP is the Prime Minister for such a time as this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy that God anointed him to be our Prime Minister in this current dispensation. And although he may be vilified by those who are now saying that Alan Chasley dodged the bullet and they're happy he's not there, I'm happy too. And the pronouncements made on St. Lucia by the Sambalat. The pronouncements made on St. Lucia by those Sambalat just shows they are moving more away from reality to insanity. Because being unable to accept facts and reality will drive you delusional and crazy. And the more they post on Facebook just shows that the reality, they are not living in real time, that they are moving far away from reality to insanity. And while we have to, keep on highlighting the good of our government, like Terry said, and sharing what has been done, I don't think we should offer any of them any explanations or because they don't believe, they don't want facts, they don't believe in reality. So I just think we should not give these people oxygen. Just let them laugh, let them heal, let them lick their wounds, let them go crazy, let them get delusional as we just move on. And thank you, gentlemen, for giving me a listening. May God continue to bless and protect you in this coming year. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right, brother. Thank you very much. Thanks. Appreciate that call. Are we seeing another call there? Let me just release this one here. Real Issues, you're on the air. Go ahead. Hi, caller, you're on the air. Hello? Okay, all right. Okay, we couldn't take that call right away, but is it on right now? All right, the Real Issues, you can call us via WhatsApp on 487-9849, and you can also reach us on the landline, which is 4533-911. We have that call on the WhatsApp line now. Real Issues, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Shelton.
Hi, good afternoon to you.
Yes. Shelton, the cars let's come down and come down already. I get in a feedback.
Yeah, we having a little bit of breaking up on your end. I don't know if it's something you can do anything about.
No, I call in from.
Okay, all right.
My phone in my.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Since it's a WhatsApp call, hang up. We'll take a call on the landline, and then you'll call us back again. Okay?
Okay then.
Yeah. All right. Call on the landline. Are you there?
Yes, Shelton.
Yes. Go ahead.
How you doing?
Doing okay. How about you?
I'm good. I'm fantastic.
We can hit.
Problem, but then well. But then well, you're both you should never like
All right. Okay. Goodbye. Bien set up, people.
Goodbye. Comment c'est bien? Il finit bien. Comment c'est bien? Mais moi, c'est pour plaisir. En adresse Premier ministre là. Les mots ne parlent about ces vieilles machines dans le parc Boschimea. Avec mon propre plaisir ça, because mon parent, c'est je passe là, moi matché anti cho à sur page Facebook moi parle about vieilles machines Boschimea. Et moi parle about ça. En science côté tourism. Although c'est pas tourism tout seul, but quand on fait un chaitin à taxi, moi j'ai 10 ça touristes qui parler, na 10 ça yo ga dit des moi je t'ai dit na match en livre. Et moi adressé moi by no leaves things I hear at my back. Avec now when you spend a shy là to promote tourists. Not Tibaga in Musafe. Shelton, I'm using Moshe Lotia to Los Stations RSL.
90 minutes.
Oui. Moi, je vais parler about that.
Oui.
Mais ma savent because he got something from moi. Ma say because he got something from moi. Personne ne va say that.
Man, this is autant ba moi ha di puis moi lang moi ha wash puis makawe anye ka fait.
Well, maybe because he got something from you too. Shelton, we can do these things, my brother. Keeping St. Lucia clean.
Yeah.
That is self-selling. C'est tourists that avance about spend this users. They continue to say, but it's right. This area is clean. This place is clean. That place is clean. And they're telling the friends that St. Lucia is a clean destination. If you keep it clean, that will sell itself. As a matter of fact, even when I said, we could put a basket, a netting at the door of the rivers to collect all the debris and all the garbage and all these things. Nusa Festival is there. We could help ourselves. But first and foremost, we have to educate the people as to keep St. Lucia clean. Maybe we might have to revisit what Roman Estancico had. Police Odi. How do you call them? Police Odi, yeah.
Yeah, litter wardens, yeah.
Litter wardens. We may have to do that. Too many people are just dropping things on the roadside. Too many people are doing that. We must not operate like that, my brother.
Nonsense here about
But I'm happy to hear that the Prime Minister is taking a different focus on the young people, and he wants to engage them, and he wants to see especially the young men. We have to try to save these guys. But I see it's already going up to 90 lots less somewhere. They may see what.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Now, let's see if we can get the caller on the WhatsApp line who was trying to call us earlier. Are you there, caller?
Yes, I'm there.
All right. You're sounding much better. You're sounding like it's a
much better this time.
Yeah, a lot better. Go ahead.
Yeah. Special good afternoon to you, Sheldon, and then my brother Feleno.
Afternoon.
This is Peter the Great here.
Oh, what's up?
Yes.
Are you living? Are you still in independent Canada or annexed Canada, the one that has been annexed?
The 51st state.
No, well, if that man go for Greenland, he coming to Canada, right?
Yeah, and from Canada he hopping over to Greenland.
To Greenland. What a world, man!
What's on your mind, my brother?
But yeah, my tone has toned right down. Because, my victory as 16-1 has changed me. And then I all solutions they head together and work with our Prime Minister and the government of the St. Lucia Labour Party. And another thing again, my visit to St. Lucia to cast my vote, Sheldon, one thing that I noticed, and that has been there for a while, and then I would love to see change. Drivers that are on the road, that pass vehicles at any time, anywhere, this is chaos. Definitely, that has to be addressed. All right?
Yeah.
And then you see that one lane going up and one lane going down. I think that government should really look into that. Have at least 2 lanes. 2 lanes going up, 2 lanes going down. Because you're coming from the bad lane down. And then you have a big truck. And then there's no way you can pass. Now these guys will take the chances to pass this vehicle. And when they pass that vehicle, they're just running straight into another vehicle coming on the opposite side.
Understand you. Okay.
That is something that is serious. But anyway, enjoy yourself. I know that you want to take some other calls. Frank, big up yourself, Frank.
Yeah, and the quality of your call is waning again. So thanks very much.
Okay.
All right. Real issues on the landline. Are you there?
Good afternoon, Mr. Shelton.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon to you.
Yes, this is my first time calling. I just want to give a little message to Mr. Pinino saying that condolences to him.
Mm-hmm.
This is Mr. Robert Cauldron calling.
Mr. Robert Cauldron.
Pulwa.
No, he's
Oh, my banner. Pulwa, man. Mayor of Masha, man.
Condolences, Mr. Pinino, man. Condolences. Yeah.
Okay.
So, we're not getting through now, so I'll be calling your program more often.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Have a good day and happy New Year to you.
All right.
Okay, thanks.
PGP, the prime minister is just the. Oh,
No, there's somebody whose surname is F.
Oh my word.
Which stands for fugitive. Who's decided that evading us is futile, so he's decided to turn himself in.
His cousin ran for election or something. I was sounding it.
Mix, what's up? Happy New Year to you.
I must prefer ex-convict. Happy New Year, my brothers.
Happy New Year, my brother.
Terry, I haven't reached out as yet, but deepest condolences to you and your family and your mom's passing.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
I also just lost an uncle just before Christmas Day. Another uncle from VA4, Uncle Alexander. He was stationed at the lighthouse in VA4 for years.
Okay, wow.
40-something years, yeah. And he's just gone on retirement.
Oh, dear me.
I heard Frank earlier on, and on his point especially about the garbage, and I'll say this quickly because the time is running. Just interestingly, I happened to see a post from Jamal Francis, that's Jane Francis Faswa's son. Apparently, a friend had bought fish from a vendor, of course, having not cleaned it, and upon opening it at home, there was a tube of something that looked like antibiotic cream or one of those topical creams found inside the fish. And I said to him, it just has nothing really to do with the vendors again. It's more a reflection of us as human beings, and not only St. Lucians and our bad waste disposal practices.
I saw that, and I thought whether it was somebody just pretending and photographing this thing. I'm just thinking, my goodness, it's true. Fish open their mouths and they swallow things, but a fish swallowing a tube which looks like it's a metal. It's not
But Shelton, we've heard for eons that our bad waste disposal practices, especially the plastics, when they get into the water.
I know about the plastics because the fish, they mistake it for jellyfish and this kind of thing. But for a fish to be swallowing a tube of ointment, metal and so on, wow, this is scary, honestly.
It is scary. But he brought up a point about the landfills. It made me recall when Cicero landfill was up in that area. Remember how the Tapia Bay would look? So I think these things should be reminders of now as we move forward, and especially as our landfills seem to be reaching capacity, what we are going to be doing about a lot of the waste that we have here. And I think recycling and investing a lot in recycling as we move forward is a good option, or at least a good option for our part.
Okay.
Gentlemen, have a wonderful afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah.
All right. Thanks. Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Terry, I think we've reached a point where we probably should begin wrapping it up.
Shelton, as we continue,
I
wanted to bring up 2 points there to show you to contrast. But the present government with this guy, I don't know call his name. I'm not calling his name. In education, so we're going to go through the manifesto bit by bit, and we're going to highlight our achievements.
So I don't think we need to reference
no
performance against anybody.
No. We're just going to decide.
It's been absolutely dismal. So you look at the manifesto and you're able to point out the rollout.
That's right.
Promises made, promises kept. Things are being implemented.
Because it's operational. 10,000.
Yeah.
You're taking 10,000.
10,000 sand ballots. Thank you so very much, everyone, for having been a part of the Real Issues again for today. Tuesday, the 13th of January 2026, only our second program. Thanks, Jaquan, for another great job at the controls. Terry, always a pleasure and an honor having you with us. And let's do it again, God willing, all things equal, same time tomorrow from 12:30 until 2 on the Real FM radio station, on NBC television, on Facebook and YouTube live streaming. Till then, Shelton Daniel for the Real Issues, powered by Blue Waters, signing out.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Numbers for the midday draw of Tuesday 13th January 2026 were Double Daily Grand 4, 10, 16, 21, Big 4, 6, 1, 5, 0. The Big 4 multi-X ball drawn is 2X. Pick 2, 2, 6. The Pick 2 multi-X ball drawn is FP. 1 off. 852. Lucky 3, 951. The Lucky 3 multi-X ball drawn is 2X.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts,